section, we are going to learn how to add different objects on the frame using the SimpleGUI. So in our previous sections, we had one line only, and let me just see what we have over here. So whenever we use the functions draw line, we need to specify, we need to give 4 different variables. The first variable is my start point, the second is my end point, the number 3 is the thickness of the line, and that is the color of the line. So let me just run it and see how it looks like. So I have my frame, which is 400 by 400. I have my line, and if I need to add my second line, what I need to do is I will just make a copy and paste, and I will be working on the second line. So imagine that you have a couple lines, and it will take a lot of coding. So here is another way to make multiple lines with one single line of coding. So let me just, I will disable this line for a while. What I can say that for the canvas, from the same variable that we're using here, I will say draw. So instead of line, I will call it polyline. The poly stands for many, so I'm going to use many lines using only one single line of coding. So let's see how it looks like. So in the beginning, I need to specify a couple points. After that, I need to give what is the thickness of the line. This time, let me give a 5, and I will give the red just to see the difference. Now let's see what is going on now. I have my variables, I have a 5 here, I have my color that. So here inside I need to specify what the different dots. And before going to that one, so let me just explain how it looks like. Imagine that we have our frame. So right now, what I'm going to tell my Python to do is, I will say, hey, I will specify a couple points, and the only thing it should be just following and combining them. So let's imagine that my first point is a 0 by 0. My second point is, let me just select right in the middle, which is 200 by 200. Why it's a 200? Because my frame is a 400 by 400. So here is the 400, and here is the 400 as well. Let me put my second one somewhere here, and let me call it, I will just give it approximately. So I will give on x-axis it's a 300, and on the y-axis it's a 50. And let me give one more, I will just put it right over here, and let me just call it, which is 300 by 300. So I'm going to put all these points right in that position. So it's a 0, 0, 200, 200, 350, and 300, 300. Okay, so let's see how it looks like, how we can put inside. You see, I have a parenthesis here, and right now I need to put a couple variables as well. So here in each of that section, I'm going to put my points. So the first point is 0 by 0. That is my first point. So the second point is 200 by 200. Another one was 300 by 50. And the last one is 300 by 300. You see right now, I have a couple points, but we need to make sure that that is inside the parentheses. So if I will run it right now, let's see how it looks like. I have all my points, and they are combined with one line of coding. You see, technically what I have 1, 2, 3 different lines. So if we do not use these functions, polyline, we also can use the just single line, but we need to write 3 different lines of codes. So it's just saving the time, and it's saving our effort. One more time, let me just specify, just to make sure that we doing right. So I will say, I will make a canvas, draw a polyline, and what I need to specify that, let me just zoom in a little bit. So I need to open another bracket. You see, that is the main brackets of that function, and that is another one. So inside I will say 3, and let me just put a 3, and I will say that is going to be green. You see, here inside, I need to give all my points that is going to be needed. So that is a point 1, that is a point 2, and point 3. And you can put as much as you want. There is no any limit. So as long as they are all in that parenthesis, guys, so it is going to be work and it is going to be executed. Here is another functions of the drawing objects. So what I can say that I will say from the canvas and I will draw, and now it will be polygon. You see, so I have a polygon. So as we remember from the math classes, what is the polygon is? It's just a shape with the multiple sides. So what's the difference between polyline and polygon? It's almost same. So what I can say that it has the same inputs. So right now I need to give how many different points I'm going to have, and after that let me give the size of the how thick it is going to be, and let me give it is going to be yellow. So let me just disable that one and let's see how I can do that. And before that, let's just specify what kind of different lines I'm going to have. Let's imagine I want to draw a triangle. That is my frame, and the first is going to be here. That is my second one, and that is my third one. So let me just give these dimensions. It's about, let me just say it's a right in the middle of the x-axis, so it is going to be 200 by 50. So what about that one? It is going to be 50 by 300, and that is going to be exactly 300 by 300. I'm just giving random numbers just to see how it looks like. So 250, 50, 300, and 300 by 300. So let's see how it looks like. I will put a couple points. So that is the point 1, the point 2, and point 3. So the first one, it was 200 by 50. The second one, it's a 50 by 300. And the last one is a 300 by 300. Before diving that, let's see how it looks like on Polyline. If I say the Polyline, let's see how it looks like. So right now I gave only 3 points. That is my first point, that is my second point, and that is my third point. So that means I have 2 lines only. But if you make a polygon, let me just run it. You see, I have a perfect triangle now. So let's see what is happening. If I'm using a polyline function only, I will specify my points, so it is going to follow all my points and it will stop where my last point is. But whenever you are using a polygon, so it is going to combine all your points, and whenever you finish, the last point will be combined with the first point as a default. So even if you do not specify to combine it later on, if you use the polygon, so the last point and the first point, that will be connected. So we are going to have the polygon like that one. So it's kind of geometrical shape. But if you use the polylines, it is going to combine all lines only, and that's it. Okay, so that's a difference between polyline and a polygon. So right now we have a polygon.